I'm Dan Ackerman, and we are here taking a look at the Asus G74SX. This is something we don't see a lot of these days. It's a big 17-inch gaming laptop. Now, of course, you're familiar with HP's Envy line, the Dell Alienware line, but Asus actually has a pretty good side gig besides making ultra portables like the ZenBook or netbooks like the original EPC in doing gaming laptops. They actually have a little sub-brand they call Republic of Gamers, and they've maintained a pretty good reputation for gaming systems. This guy doesn't look a heck of a lot like, let's say, an Alienware or something like that. It doesn't have flashing lights or a big skull logo on it, but at the same time, it also doesn't look like some of the boutique gaming laptops that we've seen that, despite the fact that they're very expensive, are usually built into very generic-looking, ugly cases. I like the fact that it's kind of a muted black sort of plastic shell. It's not going to stand out too much. You can have gaming power, but it doesn't look really dorky, which I appreciate. There is one kind of cool feature on it I'll show you in the back. There's kind of a big, gigantic fan grill here that kind of looks like a muscle car grill. Other than that, the laptop just sort of fades into the background. It's what's inside that counts with a gaming laptop. So in this case, you've got a quad-core Intel Core i7 CPU. You've got a GPU that's part of NVIDIA's highest-end line, but the low end of that highest-end line. You've got a Blu-ray drive, and you have, get this, 16 gigs of RAM. I don't think I've ever seen that in a laptop, at least not recently. And it's got a combo hard drive, a 160 gig SSD, and just a large regular platter hard drive. So you get to put apps and stuff on the 160 gig drive to speed things up, and you can keep bigger bits of data on the just traditional hard drive to get the best of both worlds. Now, of course, all that doesn't come cheap. This guy's about $2,000, and when you play around with it for a bit, especially the plasticky keyboard and the screen with the thick bezel, and it's very glossy, it may not really feel like a $2,000 laptop. There's actually a less expensive $1,500 version that has less RAM and gets rid of the SSD. That might actually be a better overall deal. Gaming-wise, it did perfectly fine. Obviously, super high-end gaming laptops are going to do better, but with the quad-core Intel Core i7 CPU and the low-end, the high-end graphics card, you can certainly play anything on this. We played Skyrim. We cranked everything all the way up to 1080p resolution and high graphics settings. It played perfectly fine. Now, if you're in the market for a gaming laptop, you probably fall into the show-offy kind of camp, in which case you may want like an Alienware with the big flashing lights, or the super serious gamer camp, in which case you're probably going to want something super custom-made with overclocked parts. If you don't fall into either of those, you certainly can do a lot worse than this guy, although I'm not really sure that many people are out there looking to spend $2,000 on a gaming laptop right now. I'm Dan Ackerman, and that is the Asus G74SX.
What's up, Brian Tong here, and if you want the scoop for all the good and bad inside the Apple world, then the only thing you should be watching is CNET's Apple Byte. I'll give you the latest news, rumors, tips, apps of the week, and even call out the bad apples. So watch it all at cnet.com/AppleByte, and I'll see you there.